The Dynasty Podcast is a free-flowing conversation that occasionally touches on mature subjects. You were warned. The Dynasty Podcast is brought to you by Berkowitz Trucking. When it comes to rubbish removal and eco-friendly recycling, Berkowitz Trucking makes it simple. Don't be a dick. Berkowitz Trucking, servicing all of Riverdale since 1981.
It's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. It's time to meet the assholes on the Dynasty tonight. That's right. It's time to put on makeup. It's time to dress up right. It's time to raise the curtain on the Dynasty tonight. Why do we always come here? I guess we'll never know. It's like some kind of torture to have to watch the show. And now let's get things started. Why don't you get things started? It's time to get things started on the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, sexuational. This is what we call the Dynasty Podcast.
And now, coming to you live from Riverdale Studios, your host, the one, the only, Eric Costanza!
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to episode number 8 of the Berkowitz Trucking Dynasty Podcast. We are coming to you live from Riverdale Studios, and this is Commissioner Eric Costanza, and with me is possibly my new dad, Bub Palucha. Bub, are you my daddy?
That remains to be seen. We're scheduled for Maury next week.
All right. Well, either that or Jerry Springer, because you were whispering sweet nothings to my mama last week.
Hey, when it's right, it's right. Yeah, when in Rome.
I heard that you are seen in a hotel room with her as well.
That's a fact.
Should I be calling you Papa, or?
I mean, you wouldn't be the only one calling me Big Daddy.
Okay. Well, Bub, I would like to thank you and Zach for stepping up and hosting last week's show. It did go through, very, very, very well. It's good to know that if I ever fall into a ditch or, a homeless man abducts me, that the show will live on forever.
It will.
But was it harder or easier, for you to kind of step in and be in the main seat last week? What'd you think of it?
It was different.
Yeah.
Definitely had to talk a little more, and I had to worry more about what I was saying, and as opposed to just,
filling in with
chiming
nonsense.
in whenever I felt like it. So
Sure.
It's definitely different, but not too much bad. I was gonna say, not too much harder.
Yeah, you and Zach had to work around a couple of obstacles I threw at your ass. That alarm that went off, and
The microphone.
I forgot to hook in, but no, you did a swell job. Good job, Bob.
Thanks.
On this show, we are going to talk about Week 6. Then we'll look ahead to Week 7. Then we're going to go ahead and have Coach Brandon McDowall, Brutal Deluxe, on the show for the coaches interview. And then we will have another interactive segment, Bob. And before we talk about this week's interactive segment, we did a couple weeks ago, we had a league poll there on the league site. And it was asking the league who thus far, or at least as of that point, they thought was the best interactive, interview. And it looks like 7 of 12 coaches voted. And actually, speaking of that, what the hell? Who are the dingleberries that don't vote? There's 5 people that didn't vote.
You know who I voted for. I mean, that's a given.
Yeah. You went with Ren.
That's a given. Sure. That's a given.
Anyway, I'm not sure how hard it is just to participate in the quick little, league poll vote there. But anyway, Ren Geyer and Jamie Eisenberg looked like they both got 3 votes each. So people really enjoyed those 2 interviews. And then looks like Icky from Sculpture Alley also got themselves a vote. Cliff Barth and Toddy Watson unfortunately didn't get a vote, but I'm sure that those were good, probably just not as good as the other ones, I would imagine.
Right.
So just wanted to talk a little bit about that. But as far as this week's show is concerned, Bob, here in the interactive segment, very excited. I let everyone in the league know to just keep a special extra eye on the Seattle Seahawks kicker, Steve Hauschka, and during the Patriots game. Bub, did you keep a special extra eye on Steve Hauschka?
I kept both. I didn't watch the game. I watched him the entire time, even on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if they won or not.
Well, unfortunately, we lost because
the Pats lost. Okay. Well, I did see Hauschka celebrating at the end of the game. So.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what's going to go on here today on this show. Bub, give me a drum roll. Today on the show, we're not going to have Steve Hauschka, the kicker. But good job. You couldn't keep that up. We're not going to have Steve Hauschka, the kicker, but we're going to have his mom, Barbara. Good old Barb.
Who else?
Right?
Who else?
Barbara Hauschka. The Bastards are from Needham, Massachusetts. And good old Stevie Hauschka went to college up in Vermont, and then he transferred over to NC State for a year, and now he's on the Seahawks. He's been on a couple of NFL teams, Ravens, I think the Lions, Vikings, and he seems to have found a home there in Seattle, and he's doing pretty well. Anyway, in our ever-growing effort to attempt to maybe someday get an actual NFL player on the show, again, we're working our way up here, Bob, and we are going to have good old Barbara Hauschka on the line. Barb and I go way back.
Do you?
Oh, we do. I call her Barb, if you've noticed.
How do you know her?
Her and I had a very intimate relationship. I'm not going to kiss and tell, but let me tell you, that woman made me a man.
Wow.
Yeah, the back seat of my first car I had when I was a teenager.
Really?
We shared some very intimate experiences at the drive-in. And I'm not going to kiss and tell, though, Bub.
How does Steve feel about this?
Well, Steve doesn't know. Steve doesn't know. But anyway, due to our intimate relationship that Barb and I have, she actually specifically asked that the interview only be me and her. So, Bub, I'm not going to ask you to leave, but if you wouldn't mind when we get to that point, just, staying quiet and let me work my magic with Barb.
Okay. I can do that.
Excellent.
Okay, Eric, you're really intimate with his mom, blah, blah, blah. But what do you really know about Steve Hauschka? Hauschka.
Well, Bub, I'm glad you asked. Soccer-style kicker, graduated from Needham High June of 2003, Middlebury College honors graduate class of 2007, majored in neuroscience, holds a school record for single-season record and career field goals, former nicknamed the Mule, first or only pro athlete ever to come out of Norfolk Colony, and one hell of a model American.
Anything else?
No, and I might be his papa. Speaking of papas, Dad, I'm going to call you my dad, I think, for this show. Is that okay, Bub?
Yeah, that's good, son.
All right, thanks, Dad. Hey, edition 2 of the Riverdale Gazette, I believe, has been received by all. Bub, did you get yours okay?
I did receive it. I received it well.
Good, and let's talk about what did you think? Any specific article, anything in it that you really enjoyed the most?
It was good. I really did like Brian's.
Yes.
What was it, the State of the Dynasty?
State of the Dynasty.
That was good. That was good. I liked that a lot.
I did too. I was very pleased with that. It was good for him to kind of step up and deliver the State of the Dynasty address. Everything he said in it, I agree with. So that obviously helps. But even if I didn't, it still would have been published. Good job, Brian. I think that went over well. The other thing I thought was good too, Dad. The Richard Seymour theory. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you agree with it, or what'd you think?
I read it and at first I was a little perplexed about why it was in there.
Mm-hmm. Like 12 years after.
But it was it was good. It was a good read.
Yeah.
I suppose, and that's. The corollary, I guess you could say, your corollary was, quote unquote, proven or what have you.
It's
theorized.
I try not to write in the first person in the Gazette because it's supposedly supposed to be more of like a staff, if you will, working on it. But I think we all know it's really just me.
Yep.
So I provided my opinion there, and I think the key important aspect of that was that Seymour, wasn't a disappointment. He doesn't suck. It's just that post 2005 or whatever it was, He's the goddamn jumper.
He's a jumper.
He's the goddamn jumper.
Now let's take